there, everybody. This is Goldfinger, and I live in Banilad. And you can see there's some open fields, and look, we even have, if you can see it, a goat right here, eating the weeds next door to my property. Actually, I think there's another goat over here. I see something moving. So we're out there. A little baby goat. Oh, there's a couple babies. Oh, we're gonna look at the goats. Hello, babies. Hello, baby. Oh, all right. Now we're turning around, and I'm 200 meters from National Highway, which is the main highway. Walking back, this yellow building, and you'll see the sign is Easy Rider Rentals. And we advertise on Google Maps because Carolyn rents scooters. And as you can see, we just painted nice bright yellow, and we have a sign, and it says, "You are here, ring the doorbell." We have a doorbell. And I have two dogs. We have Einstein and we have Rocky. Hey, come on, you two. Go, Rocky, stop. Stop fighting, Rocky. Go on, house. Go on. All right. Neither one are allowed out. To the house. Go on, go on. Get the house. Go on, get. The two of them are always fighting. Okay, play fighting. This is my garage. It's not necessarily neat, but I have tools, helmets, parts for the motorbikes, and lighting and fan. And I'll lock this up at night. And then you'll see pavers. These pavers we made, and we dug the dirt down and we made the walls. So in the back are the molds. We mixed up the concrete ourselves and made pavers and little planter walls. And then we planted. So and Carolyn's backing up. Looks like Carolyn's getting ready to take off. So, hey Carolyn, can you put eyesight in the house? Get them in the house. Because the two of them are fighting. So, over here we have bikes. It's a normal day. It's a nice day, actually. We have some tables set up, but we always park bikes out here, and eventually I'll get a cover overhead. I have a couple PCXs still, and over here a couple clicks, and then Max, as you saw. We also rent out the electric carts, which Carolyn has hers, which of course this is hers, which says "Baby on Board Einstein." And that's Carolyn. Say hello. She's off.
I'm taking off.
Where are you going again? Fruit. The market. Okay. We have a little patio cover here where I'll protect the bikes from the weather if need be. It's a pretty big cover. And you see it's home of Einstein. So we painted the whole place. We cleaned it up. And we painted the walls white. And Carolyn's going to do province pictures. Province pictures on the walls. Eventually. Starting from the back forward. Because she's an artist. It's a nice entry house. Has an attic, so we have added vents. I'm going to take you around the property on the outside first. This table was left here by the former owners, and all I did was sand it and paint it, and I use it as an outside table if we dine outside. I added 2 air conditioners inside, actually 3 total. One in the 2 in the living room, kitchen, and 1 in the studio, which we'll get to in a minute. And we had, because they have low water pressure and sometimes no water, I added a pump, a pressure tank. I brought in wiring for it, a time clock so I can shut it off at night, and a storage container, this one, which is 1,000 liters. And coming into the back, we have some shelves I put up and everything just recently got painted. Hello. This is Jit, my helper. Say hi. Hello. This is the bathroom, the outdoor bathroom, which has a shower, and Jit's my full-time helper. This is a bedroom, which we're not using at the moment, just storage, but it's like a grandmother house. If Carolyn's grandmother was to come over, they don't like air conditioning, they would live out there. And then we have the dirty kitchen. And it's a big dirty kitchen. So we're gonna step inside. We have some fans, has lights, you know. And this is where they cook. The workers will cook, make coffee, food for themselves, and then also dry fish, because dry fish, stinky poos. All right, back there is the back door to the house. But we're gonna go around to the front again. This is Marisol. Marisol, say hello. Marisol does our housekeeping, and she's been with us since we moved here. She takes care of a lot of things, and she besides laundry, she also cooks for workers when we have them, or cooks for us, and then she also sweeps and cleans the property. And as we were going to walk, this is the side of the house. This studio, I blocked the window out with white. We just finished painting it. There's a ladder here, but we painted the window white so that it would reflect the heat. I didn't want to use black. Reflect the heat when the sun comes over and sets, and then at the same time, I don't look dark because it's bright behind me. And then we have a fan overhead. We have a table and chairs here, and another fan. All right, we're gonna go inside. Entering the domain. So, we are now in the house. I'm gonna put some lights on. There we go. And there's one air conditioner we're not using right now. Say hi, say hello. This is Dominic. This is Carolyn's son. He's about 6, and he's busy watching something. And we have another air conditioner we added up here, 2.5 ton. 2.5 horsepower. 2.5 horsepower split, and that cools pretty much this whole room, which is the living room and the kitchen. On a super, super hot day, we may turn on the second one, but now the house came unfurnished, and we had to buy everything. So I bought everything. I mean, everything you see we bought, including the stove, the refrigerator, the hood, everything. As you can see, we opted for an ice maker, water dispenser, stove with an oven, and we have plenty of, the only thing is, some of the cupboards are up pretty high, a lot higher than I am tall. So we need, I'm trying to go as slow as I can. We need a little bit of a ladder in order to get to the higher areas. We're coming into the bedroom. This is the master bedroom. And I'll turn the light on. It has an air conditioner, separate unit. And we had to get the bed, the drapes. And then we have a bathroom. And I'll put the light on. And we have a walk-in closet, and then we have a shower, and then CR, which they call convenience room. And you can see a mirror, nice sink. We just redid the whole bathroom. We're gonna go back out. All right, now we're gonna come over, and I'm gonna go slowly. I'm gonna pan slowly, but there was the back door that we passed before. All right, that leads to the dirty kitchen. All right, you can see my podcast room. This is a bathroom, another CR with a shower. We put the mirrors in the sink and the hot water in. And this is the bedroom where Dominic stays. It has a wall unit. They don't use it. Typically, local Filipinos don't use air conditioning. They'll use a fan. And Carolyn does artwork, so that's why she does commissioned artwork, and she's doing one right here. And you could always go on her website. She has a website as well, and also on TikTok. It has a closet in here, and we're gonna move out of this room. I'm gonna put the fan on though. Gotta click it 3 times. One more. Okay. Now we're gonna come into the studio. Studio is soundproof, floor to ceiling. I have a green screen I'm gonna be putting up soon. So this is gonna go behind the guest. Right on this wall will be a green screen, so I could put an image. And then if we need it, I have additional lighting there in that corner and there in that corner. And there's a window that was whited out. I sit over here in the red chair. Has to be the red chair because I'm a Democrat. I just thought I'd throw that in. Here I am filming myself and my microphone. And I can put on additional lighting if I need it, which would be a little too bright right now, but I even have studio lights I can put on. It says studio. And when I record, there's all my different tools I might need for sound effects or for adjusting things. And then I installed right above the door. When I'm recording, I close the door and I put on live on the air. I think you got it all. That's pretty much it. Now, I'll go ahead and explain to you while I face you and record about some of the costs and what I did, but that's generally the house. And you pretty much got it all, guys. That was your two-cent tour. All right? You guys take care, and I'll stay on, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the costs and what we did on the house. Because we painted the inside, we painted the outside, we made the pavers, we put in a water system, we added hot water to the kitchen sink, so we had to bring electrical into that and a hot water, so the kitchen sink can have. I like cleaning dishes with hot water. That's not normal in the Philippines, but it actually does have hot water in which you can clean dishes with. So that's nice. And again, you can see right through the curtain, there's the dirty kitchen. All right. Thank you very much. Hello there, everybody. This is Goldfinger from the Goldfinger Minute. Today we're going to talk about the house that I rented in Banilad, which is south of Robinson's Mall towards Darwin. It's right off of National Highway. It was a good location. It has a big piece of property. And it needed a lot of work, and so I had to spend a lot of money on it, but I didn't really want to buy it. It wasn't actually offered for sale anyway. It was for rent. They originally wanted 40,000 pesos per month. You'll have to do the math. It's right now about 55, 56 pesos to the dollar. But they wanted, I think they originally actually had it 45. They dropped it to 40. And when I saw it, it was for 40,000 pesos a month, which does not include utilities, trash, water, electricity, or Wi-Fi. I decided to go ahead and make an offer on it, and but I needed some stipulations and some things because I knew I was going to spend a lot of money. The property originally had 9 dogs, 2 or 3 inside, 6 more outside. And that was a problem because it smelled like dog. They weren't well taken care of dogs. They were kind of mangy. And since we have Einstein, which is our indoor house dog, he's a Shih Tzu, and we didn't want him to get fleas, ticks, or other things like that. And we noticed a lot of other ants, cockroaches, and bugs. So the first thing we had to do is spray the place. So what I did is I made a list of things that I wanted to do. So I needed a month to get the place prepared. So I asked for 1 month, no rent. And that would be the month of December, no rent. And that we'd move in January 1st. And then at the same time, I told them they had to get all of their things out. We decided not to keep anything that was theirs. They did end up leaving a table, as you'll see in the video. But other than that, pretty much everything was removed. I didn't expect them to. I sell them all clean, all paint, but I need all of the stuff removed. And the garage area, which was you'll see the garage area, obviously was a sorry store at one time. They sold food, ice cream, snacks. I needed it as a garage. They wanted to keep it as storage, and I told them that they're going to have to remove everything, and I need all the space. I had originally offered to store their stuff for 1 year, but as it turned out, we changed the offer and came back, and I said, it's okay, I'll just pay you first, last, and security if you just take everything out. And that they preferred that. I said, I just want everything mine. I need the garage. I need a garage area for my tools, helmets, equipment for the motorbike. Now, in the video, you'll see that we had to do a lot of work. Unfortunately, I didn't take pictures beforehand, but there was just grassy dirt that was kind of muddy, not solid grass. And what I decided to do was dig it all out down about 6 to 8 inches, put down a plastic screen that allows water to soak through but not weeds to come through, added sand, about 2 inches of sand, and then made my own pavers. It was cheaper I looked at buying pavers. It was too expensive, so I decided to make my own, hired a laborer who I kept on, and all he did was mix cement, sand and cement, and made, in the molds that I bought 20 molds. He made pavers, and I also made a low planter wall, okay? And, we tried to color the cement. It didn't work out very good. It took too much color. It was going to cost too much to color the actual cement. So we ended up doing the whole thing, then painting it turquoise color, because Carolyn liked the color turquoise. And we used a paver that was open in the middle because I didn't want it to be a solid cement reflective surface. I wanted somewhat cooler, softer on the eyes, softer on the temperature. So we used an open paver, and then we planted grass. I added coconut fiber and mixed it with dirt and added it to the holes in between and planted ryegrass seed. So we'll have a little bit of grass confined in the pavers, which will be a little bit more maintenance, probably more water, but that's okay. And then we did planters around the palm trees, and we're slowly planting. In the meantime, we got an outside dog, a German Shepherd, Rocky, puppy, who's only been with us for a couple months now. He's still a baby, and he's starting to be he's going to be my guard dog. We painted all the walls outside, all the walls on the outside of the house. We painted all the walls. We had to scrape down the walls on the inside because the paint was bubbling. They didn't use a sealer, so we had to scrape everything down to the cement and sand it, fill it, and then paint it. Now, the house is made out of cement. All houses in the Philippines are mostly made out of cement in the city. Not so much in the province, but in the city they're made out of cement. And so we painted the whole inside of the house, changed some light fixtures, and you'll see some of the other improvements I talk about. Didn't have to do anything with the floor, thank goodness. The floor was fine. No broken tiles. It just needed a lot of love and care. We needed to seal the doors so that bugs wouldn't come in. So we had to seal the gaps under the doors. We had to seal around the doors. There was a lot of small things we had to do. And, of course, I decided to do a studio in one of the bedrooms. Since I had 3 bedrooms in the house, I took one bedroom. I took the closet out. I had a closet, and I soundproofed it and made it into a podcast and recording studio, which I'm in right now. And we've got a green screen going up behind my guests so I could have a scene. And I just recently put some drapes behind me and painted the window out white so I could let a little bit of diffused light in, but not so much sun that I look dark or it burns the back, or heats up the room. So we just painted the window out white. And going through the microphones, the cameras, the proper editing programs and uploading, and YouTube has been quite a project. There's a lot to learn. Even on YouTube, they don't explain everything, so you have to watch YouTube videos to learn how to use, say, OBS, which is a recording program, and it's a little bit complicated. It's called freeware. You don't pay for it. The other way is to pay someone else to upload to YouTube for you, but it gets pretty expensive, about $1,000 a year to use a third-party editing software. So I decided to use my own, and just had to learn it. Had a friend named Nick that helped me countless hours and days getting it to where we get good picture and good sound. We actually found the best pictures would be on cell phones. They're 50 to 200 megapixel, 50 to 200 megapixel. They have better cameras than video cameras. Video cameras weren't very good. We tried a few, and the quality was grainy, wasn't clear. They didn't automatically focus necessarily. Sound, we decided to go with. We tried multiple mics. We found the cheapest mics actually worked better than the more expensive ones. There were $350 mics I tried, $100 mics, and believe it or not, $10 mics is what I'm using right now. And I have two of them with a backup. And we decided to use Filmora. So once we record this, I could upload it to Filmora. I can splice, edit, add an entry, an intro and an outro, and do a lot of different things with Filmora, which is a separate editing program. So this video right now, when done, along with the video from my phone, will be entered into Filmora, and then I'll take some pre-made videos from Canva, and Canva has my opening video with the pocket watch that you'll see, that you just saw actually, that moves across, and it says the Goldfinger Minute, and at the end it says, please like, share, and subscribe. And then the music I use on the intro and outro, you have to be very careful with YouTube. You can't use copyrighted music, and just about everything is copyrighted. So I started with Beethoven's Fifth, and I thought it would be great because I liked old school stuff. Unfortunately, YouTube has decided that Beethoven's Fifth is exclusive to another user, and so it would not monetize any of my videos unless I change the music. So back to the editing board, and YouTube provides its own music, which you're allowed to use. It created its own music and either bought rights or shared it to anybody, that anybody could use it. So I had to edit out the Beethoven's Fifth and put in other music. So every video I'll have will have a different tune. Some good and some not so great, but they're allowed by YouTube. And so I was able to get monetized. Otherwise, they wouldn't allow it because it said it wasn't a copyright infringement, but it was somebody else was using it, and they said they wanted exclusive use to it, and they have a much bigger fan club than I do, so they got the right to it. So we won't go into who that was. Anyway, so there was a lot of work here. I had to buy mattresses, frames, refrigerator, stove. So the property ended up being $35,000. I offered them $35,000 a month, but I wanted a long-term lease, and they said they were very open to a long-term lease because I'm going to spend a lot of money on the place. So I spent more than I thought. I thought I spent about $500,000, and I actually spent twice that. So I spent almost $1 million, just over $1 million actually, pesos. But that includes the podcast room, which was $200,000. That includes the pavers, which was a couple $100,000 altogether with the planters and everything else and plants. And then I spent another $700,000 on a water pump, pressure pump tank, vents, electric vents on the roof that automatically cool the roof down because it has an attic. Added 3 air conditioners, I got top-of-the-line air conditioners, Colin brand, which use very little wattage, and they're very efficient, high efficiency. They have inverters both inside and out, so having inverters cuts down on the electricity use. But you pay premium for the unit, but it saves you every month, every year. It saves you quite a bit of money over a non-inverter. I also bought a refrigerator. Refrigerator alone was over 100,000 pesos. So, and a stove with an oven and things like that. I also bought a washing machine, and so some of it I would say 300,000 of the 7 was on appliances or furniture, and maybe 400,000 was something I can't get back, which is painting, scraping painting, vents on the roof, running new electrical. They had inadequate electrical on some of the things they had already had installed, so I changed the electrical. I had to add electrical for the 3 air conditioners. I had to hire an electrician, and we had to move some plumbing pipes in order to do the pavers because they were sitting above ground that drained the roof water away, and we had to trench down and bury those deeper, about 1.5 feet, 2 feet deep, to drain the water away. And there was some cement work and things like that. But in all, I ended up paying $35,000 a month, gave them first last security, which was $105,000, so it includes that. So it also includes my rent. And then I asked for a 15-year lease. My thinking on the subject was I would get paid back in 10 years, easy, probably 5, because the price of real estate out here is going up. The price of rental is going up as supply and demand. A lot of people coming to Dumaguete. I've seen prices rise, and you really can't get too much for $35,000. And once I fix this place up, you probably could get $50,000 or $60,000 for it because it's all ready to go, nice and neat, all painted, clean, operating. So I mean, I put in bathroom mirrors, changed the showers out. So we did a lot of work. Anyway, so again, the long-term thinking was that if something happens to me and I'm 69 next month, so if something happens to me, and I doubt if I'm going to live to 79 or 80, I doubt it. I mean, I hope I do, but I doubt it. And Carolyn has her business of Easy Rider Rentals. Now, in her business of Easy Rider Rentals, she rents e-carts and motor scooters, Honda and Yamaha. And I've been helping her build that up. I own the bikes in my name, but I have gone to a lawyer and have done an estate planning where she has legal authority to change titles upon my death. So she could take title to all the bikes of the e-carts. Meanwhile, the license had to be in her name because she's Filipino. I'm a tourist. I can't technically own a license or run a business, but I assist her, and it's her business, Easy Rider Rentals. And there was some changes. We originally called it, her last name is Filipino. It's Carolyn Filipino is her last name. And we called it Filipino Motorbikes or Motorbike Rentals. And that didn't go over so well because all we would get is Filipinos wanting to rent bikes. But they don't typically rent scooters. They want manual transmission, kickstart bikes, and they're very hard on the bikes. And I was really trying to go after foreigners, which we call expats, not so much for Filipino citizens because obviously foreigners could prefer luxury, and we would have brand new scooters with a top box, which is like a trunk on a motorbike in the back, and a phone holder, and a nice phone holder with a power connector, so they could charge their phone and use the phone, and had vibration, anti-vibration built into the phone holder, and brand new. So I ended up buying 2024 bikes. Now, and so we charged same price as anybody else, but we had a better quality product. And also being able to speak English helped a lot. So we renamed it to Easy Rider Rentals, which was I didn't want to use someone's name. I didn't want to use Goldfinger Rentals, it's Carolyn's business, and it has nothing to do with me other than I showed her what to do and assist her because I've been in business before multiple times. This way, down the road, if something happens to me, she said she didn't want to live here. She'd want to live in the province. And I said, okay, well, you'll have a business you can sell. It'll have a value, typically 10 times the rental income. And you also can rent the property out because the property's in her name as well as mine. And you can rent the property out for twice what you pay. And so you'll make another $35,000 a month on the property. Because it's a going business, they have the location, the name, and everything else. And then they also have to purchase the scooters at value, or whatever time that is, how many years they're old or anything else. Bikes are good in a rental business for 3 years. I probably would sell any bike that's 3 years old and just replace it with a new bike. 2 years is fine. But if they start getting into the 25,000 kilometer range, it's time to replace the bike and get a newer model. So they just recently, and we're obviously in May, they just now came out with the 2025 scooters. So I'll be looking to buy some 2025s in June, and Clicks seem to be the most popular. So I'll buy Clicks, which is a 125 Honda. I'll be buying PCX and ADVs, which are 160 cc's. The ADV is a heavy bike with a better suspension, but it's only good for long trips. PCX better for the city. And then also NMAXs, which is made by, and they're a 155. And NMAX is made by Yamaha. And it's very compatible with and comparable to the PCX. I don't know which one I like better. Sometimes I like the PCX and sometimes I like the NMAX. So they're a different ride. The seat's more comfortable on an NMAX, but it's a little bit lower to the ground. So, it kind of depends on what you like. I recommend people to try different bikes, rent it for a week, because we do not rent by the day. Carolyn rents only by the week or the month. And everybody seems to be very happy. If there's damage to the bike, you're responsible for it, but it's not very expensive here. It's pretty cheap, not like in the States. You can replace a lot of scratched up, broken parts, and you can do it for under $100. Usually it's $20-$30, but I mean, you did a lot of damage, it might be $100, but you'd be hurt. You'd be pretty hurt yourself. So we'd also carry liability insurance on it, and third-party liability, which covers whatever damage you did to somebody else's property or persons, because ultimately, if we're the registered owner of the bike, it makes me actually responsible if someone drove a motorbike through a wall and somebody's wall or house or hit somebody in the street. They could conceivably sue me, so I carry third-party insurance on it. I always recommend people carry health insurance, and I use Michael Onstead from Pacific Cross for personal insurance. And that's why I recommend. He has a $1 million peso policy, which I've mentioned before, and that will cover just about anything, and it's 100% deductible. And I've used it 3 times in the past year, so it's well worth it. Even minor things can cost 25,000 pesos, but really major things might be 700,000, like a heart attack or a stroke, but you'll never hit $1 million, and it's $1 million per year. My premium is $58,000 per year, but you can. Again, I'll be 69. It's based on 68, and but if you're younger, it'll be quite a bit less. Carolyn has the same policy, and she's 34. And being a girl, I guess they don't think she's as daredevil as I am. So she has a $1 million peso policy, and her premium is only 12,000 pesos for a year. You can split that up you can split it up to 6 to 6. I could split mine up in half also. Okay, roughly 28 and 28. A little bit more. Maybe they actually charge a little bit extra, so it might be 30 and 30. They charge a little interest when you split it up. Anyway, getting back to the property, I had also put in there that we could sublease the property on the basis that might happen in the future. let's see, 15-year lease. We could sublease the property. Oh, we could run a business from here. So we put in there that Easy Rider Rentals will be running a business. Here, zoning laws don't occur. You can run a business from your home. They don't have zoning areas like they would have in the U.S. states. You don't have to be a commercial property or a retail property in order to run a business. So we don't make a lot of noise. We're pretty quiet. We're next to a church, Baptist church. We hear a little bit of music on Sundays, not much. They're very nice. And as I showed in the video, we have fields mostly on the side and behind us, and in front of us is open fields that people graze goats on, and sometimes cattle or oxen. I put a few other stipulations in there that what we're going to do and what they had to do. But if I found something wrong, the owner is very, very nice. And if I find something wrong, I'll let them know, and we'll fix it. And if it's not expensive, I'll just take care of it myself. I don't bother them with them. So if it's 2,000 or 3,000 pesos, like something's wrong with the toilet, I'll just take care of it myself. Now, I did hire a full-time Filipino man, who young guy. He takes care of the property. He's been painting. He's been cleaning. He's been fixing the bikes, maintaining them, takes them for oil changes or flat tires or whatever he needs. He checks the air pressure and the oil level, and he could fix tires. He's pretty good. He's very good with the tools, so he's been able to saw lumber. Again, he mixes cement, and his name is Jet, and you'll see him in the video. And then we also have a housemaid, and she takes care of all the property, including cooking for her and the worker, and sometimes for Carolyn or myself, and then also cleans everything throughout the house and the property. And she's done other work too. When she has free time, she'll trim plants or pressure wash the driveways down or things like that. I don't know what else to tell you other than I'm very happy with the place, the way it turned out. I will admit, 1 million pesos is a lot of money to spend. I didn't really expect to spend that much. But again, 200,000 of it was this podcast room. Okay. Another about another 300,000 was appliances. And then I spent a little too much money on the pavers. So the pavers was a lot of money, a little bit more than I thought, a lot cheaper than the States. But again, it ran a couple 100,000, maybe 250 max. With labor and everything, 250,000. I thought it'd be 100, 150. Like everything else, it runs more than what you expect. So it was like 200. I think it was. Now that I think about it, I think it was 250,000 for the pavers to complete them with the planter walls, with backfilling with coconut fiber and fertilizer and planting seed and all the labor and everything was about 250,000. So when you get down to it, that's. There was another 300,000, maybe 4, put into the house itself. A lot of labor in cleaning and painting, adding attic vents, adding electrical, adding plumbing, and changing some things around. We had to get drapes, things like that. Some things you're not going to get back. But if I'm here for long enough time, it'll be worth it. And my rent doesn't change. So you can imagine that in 10 years, even 5 years, rents will go up. And so I'll be probably in 2 or 3 years, I'll be saving money on rent. Because in the past, I had a rent for 1 year at a time, and I did not like that, moving or having to be open. Like one place kept me month to month after my lease ran out after 1 year. And they could raise me to whatever they want with only a 30-day notice. And they did, twice, month after month. And so I had to move out because they raised us too much. I mean, I had a 20,000 that went to 22, that went to 25. I'm going, no, it's not worth 25. And so this way, I knew that in 2 or 3 years, I'll be reaping the benefits of having a set rent. If anybody else has any questions, please put them in the comments. I'm going to add the video now. And if I forgot anything, I apologize, but there's a lot on my mind. I have a live tonight. So you guys take care. I appreciate it. This is all the information I could come up with for now. Probably do a separate video about Easy Rider Rentals and how that came about, because that business started by accident about a year ago. We'll talk about that on another video and go into detail. You take care. Bye-bye, all. And I appreciate every one of you. Please like, subscribe. And again, thank you very much for all the people that already have been watching the videos and helping me and supporting me in videos. It's a process. I apologize for some sound errors or picture errors. I'm still learning. You guys take care. Bye-bye now.
Here and a there, here, there,